Computer Science A, Unit 3, Boolean Expressions and If Statements. Lesson 6, Comparing Objects. This lesson, you will understand the difference between the way Java compares primitives and objects. One thing to keep in mind when dealing with different data types is the usage of the double equals operator. The double equals operator compares the contents of the immediate memory box. For primitives whose data is stored in their memory box, this works just like we would expect. You declare int a as 20. So in memory, a is the same thing as 20. Int b, that holds the value 20 as well. So if we ask if a is equal to b, that's what the double equals does, it compares, then we would output same. These two are the same. A holds 20 and B holds 20. It works exactly like we expected. But what about this one? When dealing with class data types such as strings, and later on when we work with other objects, we have to be careful. Because what? And I'm going to pause this for a moment so I can fix this. Because what is stored in the immediate box is a memory location, not the value of a primitive, because this isn't a primitive, it's an object. So I declare the string A and set its value to new string. So here, what happens is in memory, A, what's stored in memory box A is the memory location that A is pointing to. So it points to this other spot in memory. And then in that spot, we put in APCS. String B is set to new string. I create a new spot for a new string in memory, and I put its address into the box B, into memory box B. Then if A equals B, this is asking, is this MLA, is this memory location of A the same as memory location of B? And in fact, it is not. They are not pointing to the same memory location, so their values will be different. These would not be the same since A and B have different memory locations. In this example, even though the strings are storing the same data, the double equals is false because they have different memory locations, and objects, A holds the address of where the string is stored, not the string itself. B holds the address where string B is stored, not string B itself. Well, how do we fix this? Well, we can declare and instantiate string A as a new string and give it the value APCS. So in memory, we get the address where the string will be stored, boom, and then we store the value APCS in it. Then we say string B is set to string A. That means string B is going to point to the same thing as string A. So now, if I compare A and B, this comparison is asking, do these two boxes contain the same thing? And in fact, they do. They contain the same address to a string in memory. These would be the same since A and B have the same memory locations. In this example, however, the double equals is true because A and B have the same memory location. We say that A is an alias of B. Essentially, we're calling it the same thing. It's as if you call me by my first name or Mrs. Whalen. I'm the same person. Both names refer to me. Both A and B here refer to this string, APCS. They're both pointing to it. To compare class data types, we rarely use the double equals. Instead, we can use built-in equals method. String A is set to new string cat dog. String B is set to new string cat dog. If A dot equals B, system.out.println same. The equals method is written to make the comparison. In this case, these are strings. So it would compare the first characters, second characters, third characters, fourth characters, and so on. And if all the characters within each string are identical, then they'll be equal. Now, different objects would have a different dot equals. Remember our dog? Well, if you had Queenie dot equals Buddy, that would return false, because as soon as it compared the two names, it would find out that Queenie and Buddy are two different names. Okay? We're going to do a lot more with that dot equals method when we start talking a little bit more about objects. But understand that to compare objects that we have created, we often create a dot equals method to compare the two objects. Because different objects, what makes them equal? Okay, what makes them equal? And we'll discuss this more on how these are written later in our unit on objects. At this time, we are concluding Lesson 6 in Unit 3.